Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Alton here, and I have a very good friend of mine, and we've only been friends I think about 6 months or so, but we talk all the time on the internet. His name is Isaiah. He has an awesome channel, and hey, I just want to throw it over to Isaiah to say hi and tell you a little bit about him and his channel.
All right, so how you doing, guys? Thanks for having me, Alton. It's good to finally have some, video collaboration time with you.
Yeah.
My name is Isaiah. I have just an Instagram channel. My channel is IM_NYC. I do a lot of fashion grids and watches and sneakers. And then whatever piques my interest. Sometimes my daughter does something funny and I like to throw it on there, or I'll give her a shout out. My stories tend to be very unscripted as opposed to my daily posts. So, and I hope you guys will check me out. Again, it's IM_NYC. Yeah,
what I like about Isaiah's channel is that he has a skill I don't have, and that is organization and folding. If I were to do a flat lay, it would just be a balled up pair of pants next to a wrinkled t-shirt and maybe a watch thrown on top. I don't know.
Yeah.
How long does that take you to kind of get it all organized?
To me, you want to know the most difficult part is ironing.
Ironing.
Ironing. That's what is the pain in my butt of everything. The folding takes 2 minutes. Getting an outfit together is pretty, I just have a talent for doing that. I'm not patting myself on the back, but it's something I'm into. So I like to, put my style out there. But I tell you, the ironing is the biggest pain, especially with twill cottons and those kind of pants. Like, you just never get the lines out no matter how much you iron. So I'm just like, let me blur the picture a little bit.
I haven't ironed anything since 1996. No, that's not true. I do once in a while iron something, maybe for a wedding or whatever, and I just hate it. So
I hate it.
But you know what? For me, as a watch guy, my big thing is dust, getting the dust off these things.
Yeah.
So, and it's just every time you take a picture, it seems like there's another piece of dust.
And the fingerprints.
Yep, fingerprints too.
The fingerprints. That's like, I don't know how many times, I'll eat and whatever's happening and it'd be my nicest watch and I'm like, it looks gross.
Now you know why those guys wear white gloves when they do their reviews. It's not because they want to be pretentious. It's because it's so hard to keep them clean when you're playing with them.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Now, so one of the things that we bonded over is watches, because fashion is not my thing. I have zero fashion. I throw on a polo and a pair of khakis, and that's my fashion statement. I don't have Isaiah's gift. I wish I did, but I don't.
There's nothing wrong with khakis and a polo, though.
Yeah, it's classic. But we bonded over watches, and we kind of talked about Timex a little bit in the beginning. Now, you've recently bought your first mechanical watch. Can you tell us about that experience?
Sure. So I've always been into watches, and I didn't know the difference, obviously newbie move between a quartz and a mechanical watch. I have a lot of Timex watches. I have a lot of old Android watches, which are, I believe, Aragon or Avalon or something like that. They changed the company name a few years back. But I've always been to like the funky appeal of the watch.
Right.
I had a watch toolkit, and I always pop my watches and change my own batteries. And then I ran into this incident with one of my quartz watches. I think that was around the time we first started talking, where it was like I was really trying to fix those little plastic gears. I'm an engineer by trade, so I figured, hey, I can do this. And I was like, this thing's a piece of junk. Like, I can't fix this. It's it's plastic. So
throwaway, right?
Yeah, so I kept talking to you, and then I started digging, and you were like, well, I've never really seen anyone fix a quartz watch. And then I got into the mechanical watch, and I started doing the the knowledge and learning and seeing the big difference between an automatic and a mechanical and a quartz watch, and, learning that the functionality of the quartz watch actually ticks better. But I think what you and I have in common is that appreciation for the artistry and the craft of actually building a mechanical watch, something that doesn't need batteries, something that even, if an EMP hit the city, my watch would still be ticking.
Yeah.
So, I decided to bite the bullet, and my first mechanical or automatic watch was actually one that you reviewed and put me onto, which was this one, the Stalingrad Grenade.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it was an experience. I'm a World War II buff. I read a lot of history. Those who check my channel, especially related around my watches, there's a lot of history there. And this Stalingrad kind of just fit right in with my collection, and the field watch kind of / Soviet era field watch thing, even though it's a modern take. I really dug the fact that, you know, I kind of have to take care of this watch. Like, it's not like I can just throw it on the side and have to, you know, not really care about the time ticking and change the battery every 2 years. It was kind of a involvement in it that I didn't have that with my quartz watches.
Yeah.
And, you know, then as I talked to you, I started, you know, learning more about brands and different movements and the things that make them tick. And, you know, slowly but surely, my collection started to expand.
Mm-hmm. And quickly, too. So before we get into that, let's talk about that Stalingrad watch, because I really, really like that one.
Yeah, it's an amazing watch.
They gave me 4 watches to review. I had them for about a week or so before I passed them on to, I think, Beer and Watches out in the west coast of Canada. And out of the 4, that was my favorite. And I like the case on it. Had a bit of a patina to it. At least my version was black. I think yours is too, isn't it? Or is yours
I have the black one. I think you had the green with the black patina.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Then I have the full black. I kind of, at this point, feel like I should have went with the green because I have so many black dials.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it is what it is.
A watch collector is going to find a lot of black and a lot of blue dials in their collection.
Yeah.
And the black kind of goes with your urban ninja vibe, though, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. What did you get after that, then? What'd you pick up?
I think I moved on to a Santo. So originally I had a Santo before I bought a mechanical watch, which was this piece, which was one of their special editions. A Roland Sands, who's like a motorcycle guy or artist. I really like the quality of it, even though it's a quartz watch. It had a great build. If you see, it's got this nice, you know, stainless steel fitting. The lugs are wire lugs, and then the strap itself kind of had this like leather jacket motorcycle feel to it.
Yeah, I want to pick up something like that.
Yeah, so and it looked like a motorcycle dial too, which was interesting, you know.
Cool.
So I dug that, and I moved on to the rest of their collection, and then my next piece in the mechanical side was this one. Now this one's a bit beat up. I wear it often. It's a bit larger. I think it's 46 millimeter. I'm very thin, you can see. But this watch had that aviator World War II vibe going on the American side of things. And it reminded me of this book, Serenade to the Big Bird, which is about a B-17 bomber. And the pilot who he eventually died in World War II, but he was actually a writer, very Hemingway-esque kind of writer, and this watch kind of just gave me the feel. So I reread the book while I was, you know, I was holding the watch. Yeah.
I love that, because that's what mechanical watches are all about. They're about the feel that it invokes. About when you look at it, when you wind it, when you set the date, you just get this sort of connection, this sensual in a non-sexual way, just sensing the winding, watching it move, you feel connected, and then there's that history component, right?
Yes.
I think that's why companies like Laco sell so well, because of that historical connection.
Well, that was my next watch, and I think I had talked to you about that, which was the Laco, the pilot watch, right?
Yeah.
And that was the German side. So I was like, I got the Soviet side, the American side, and then I moved into the German realm, and that's the Laco pilot watch, which was my next mechanical automatic watch, which I really dig. I like the style of the dial. This one you find on a lot of different makers, and a lot of different, you know, variations in quality. And I think I went with the Laco because it was actually one of the original manufacturers from World War II that were commissioned by the government to actually provide the pilot watches to them. The odd thing about this that I guess not really odd, but they had originally manufactured these at 55 millimeters, with a giant onion, and the intent was so that the pilot could wear it on the outside of his pilot jacket and still be able to turn the crown with his gloves on.
Yeah.
So that's another little bit of history right there.
Yeah.
And I think I had reached out to you to get the Japanese kamikaze watch by Seiko, but that one is almost impossible to find unless you're looking for original to spend thousands of dollars on.
Yeah, if you've got the money, you can find one, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you or I have that kind of money.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
What are you wearing today?
Today I got my Hamilton field watch. It's a day and date. I'll take it off. It's become one of my favorite almost everyday watches.
Yeah.
The dial is what grabbed me on this one. It's available in black, but finding the silver dial was very difficult. You can't make it out in the picture probably, but it's got like that record player kind of lineage around the outer where the numbers are. It's smaller, smooth stainless steel. But what I dig is that it's got the day here and the date down here by the 6.
That's an awesome watch. I actually have that one, I think in with the tan and the black.
Yeah.
It's really nice. That was my first video on the channel. If you scroll down, I think I made that video edited on my phone, so it's really bad. But I'm gonna leave it up there for posterity's sake. That's for sure. Yeah. I am. Well, can you guess
what do you have on? I know you got a bit of history. I know you got a bit of history on your arm.
My Belova, of course. The new Belova A15. I'm wearing that bad boy. I didn't wear it all weekend, so I had to put it back on. Yeah.
You had those Casios on this weekend, right?
Yeah. Actually, I wore. I have an addiction. So, in the morning, I wore a Hamilton. In the afternoon, I wore a Casio. And I think on Friday, I probably wore 3 different watches. So if you follow me on Instagram, it'll look like I'm just wearing one watch, maybe 2. But the dirty secret is there could be others. I have.
See.
Like an Italian mobster, I've got mistresses on the side in every city. So that's not racist, is it?
Do tell me a bit about that watch, because I really, you've got me, every time you post that watch, I just fall a little more in love with it. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
It's got that secret, not too many people know, the only 500 made. So if you would like to, tell me a little more.
Yeah. So for our viewers at home, you're not going to get the best. I got lots of glare, but so the cool thing about this is this was a prototype for the U.S. Air Force back in the Second World War. They made 500 of them. They gave them to pilots, and they tested those 500. For whatever reason, they never went into production, which is why you don't find these in the wild too often. They went with a simple 3-hand hack, whether it's Hamilton or a Belova or whatever company. They just all went with that simple, very clear, very legible 3-hand, which is a great watch. I know a lot of people love the Hamilton hack. The Belova just released a new one. I looked at the hack, but this one has a sapphire crystal, and I am really hard on the crystal. So I just couldn't do the hack because it has mineral crystal thing. And then it's got this, the rotating inner bezels, which, I can't, there you go.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so it in many ways, you can do a lot of timing, a lot of calculations with this bad boy. And Belova's re-released this twice since the first one, and this one is the cheaper of the 2 new releases. The other one came out a few years ago. It was different, had longer hands, it had different kind of loom on it, and it was more expensive because I think it had an ETA or something in it. This one has a Miyota 8 series, which is one of my least favorite movements, but the watch itself is just so cool. I didn't care. And because it's a pilot's watch, there's a lot of strap, because I have an 8-inch wrist and I'm often on the second or the last hole.
Right.
On this one, I'm on the 5th from last hole, which is kind of nice because, like you say, they would strap it around the jacket. So yeah. And this being 42 is a lot of wrist presence for a guy like me. If I do a 38 mil, looks a little dainty sometimes. Yeah. Like I'm wearing a nickel on my wrist.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes 38 looks small on my wrist. I don't know if it's just a macho thing or whatnot, but I feel like those watches they don't wear well on a grown man.
It depends on your style.
Yeah.
And some people love big watches, and now there's a kind of counter movement where people love small watches, and it's cool to be small. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's also that, you know, a lot of buyers do that, you know, like the Invicta kind of thing where they're getting like 50 millimeters and 52, and those are way off the chart for me. You know, like that.
Yeah.
You know, I have about 6.5-inch wrist, and you know, obviously something like this fits me. You know, fits well, but
You're
it's
pulling
not
it off though.
right.
Do you know what I noticed? I think the reason you pull it off is you have a flat wrist.
Yeah.
So the lug to lug could be 50 mil for you, and that's not a problem. Whereas I have more of a tall wrist, not as flat.
Right.
So
Right.
50 mil, even though I have an 8-inch wrist, is kind of my limit. After 52, 53, it starts to almost get to the edge of my wrist, which.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I don't wear a lot of NATO straps, because I find there's kind of a gap in here where it folds over the spring bar, and there's kind of that gap on
So you
side.
get like an extra loop in there of the secondary label. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't mind the single pass elastics though. That's my new favorite kind of NATO. All right. I know that what people really want to know about is the giveaway. So Isaiah and I are doing this giveaway just because we're buds and we want to do something together. And I am just about to hit 1,000 posts on Instagram, which is crazy for me. I started this channel because I was bored 2 Januaries ago, and I didn't know anyone who knew watches. So I thought I'll make an Instagram page. And when I got to 100 subscribers, I just couldn't believe that 100 people would look at my pictures. And now I'm up to 3,400. And for me, that's another milestone, because when I started that page, I saw this guy, I don't even remember the account, but he had 3,400 followers, and I loved his account, and I thought, wouldn't it be so cool to have 3,400 followers? And I think I hit that on the weekend or late last week.
Yeah, you just hit it like Friday on the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's almost like any other followers I get is just gravy, because I'm happy here with what I've got. And I just want to keep encouraging Isaiah down into the dark side of collecting. Yeah. Although you have another passion on your feet, right?
Always. My sneakers have always been my primary passion, probably. You know, if I've been doing watches 22 years, I've been doing sneakers 30 years. Since I knew since I knew who Jordan was, and he was in the Bugs Bunny commercial when Marvin the Martian stole all the world's Jordans.
I remember getting my Air Jordans when I was a teenager. It was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I had a pair of one of those pump up shoes too.
Oh, the Reebok pumps. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yes, absolutely. I had a pair of those. I had a pair of those way back in the early 90s. Yeah, my sneakers are my thing. It's just always been like one of my favorite things is my sneakers. And then the watch has kind of brought me into a new, echelon where now I'm matching my sneakers with my watches.
Yeah, it all works. Isn't that crazy how the watch thing and the sneaker thing, that they complement each other?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you might hear me refer to him as the urban ninja. I don't know, just his style. He's down in New York. And what I love about his channel, you need to, or not channel, is his Instagram profile. You need to check it out, because not only does he do a flat lay, which a lot of people do, but there's always a second picture, almost always a second picture of him in New York City somewhere. And right now you have to wear the black mask. So I'm kind of getting a bit of a Snake Eyes vibe, a little G.I. Joe vibe, and so I started calling him the Urban Ninja. But definitely you want to check it out.
Hashtagging it on every post.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's talk about the giveaway. So we're going to do a giveaway. There's going to be 3 prizes. And Isaiah, you've got prize number 1 there in New York City with you right now. Can you show it to us and tell us about it?
Yep. So the first prize I picked up is A Man and His Watch. It's a book, interesting collection. I picked one up for myself, and while I was at the bookstore, I was messaging Alton. I said, hey, we should do a giveaway and use this book. And this book has some styles, a lot of different watches, a lot of famous people. I think Ralph Lauren was in here. There was a lot of regular people too. talking about their one watch, why they wear it, why they love it, and it just made me think of our relationship and what we like about our watches.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of so this is my copy. This is not the copy we'll be sending out. The one we'll send out is brand new.
Yeah.
So you've got different people here and a lot of different variety of watches. I think one of my favorite ones, if I could find the pages, I should have marked it prior, was somebody has an old World War I watch with the grill on it. And I found it interesting. You go from one place to another. Calvin Klein, Ralph Lauren's wearing like a square type watch, which I don't like square watches, but I was like, I could see that fitting him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great book. I think any watch enthusiast will, probably be really happy to have this book. Not the most expensive prize in the world, but, it's very, it's a nice thing to have on your coffee table or just to peruse through yourself.
I see that book all the time on Instagram, and I think, I gotta pick one up, and I just never do. So there's gonna be somebody out there who's thought the exact same thing. Well, you don't have to pick it up. It's gonna come to you if you're the first prize winner.
That's it.
So second and third prize is going to work like this. I have four straps, and the second place winner gets to pick two of those four straps, and the third place winner gets the leftovers. So I want to show them to you. The first is an orange NATO, and this is 20 millimeters. This is from Cheapest NATO Straps. So you can pick these up for like $5 or $8 or whatever. This one is really nice. This is from Blue Shark, and it's a seatbelt NATO. It's the softer one. It's not the most premium one they have, but it's still very, very nice. 22 millimeters in a beautiful blue, and all of these are my personal collection, but you need to know I did not wear these. I did put them on a watch, take some pictures, maybe even take a wrist shot, but I didn't wear them around town sweating on them. And this one here is really nice. It's from B&R Bands, and it's actually a saddle leather. It's got a rough texture to it, and it's thick, but it's extremely soft. This one's 24. It would be nice on a Panerai kind of style watch. 24 mil on that. And this one here is from Clockwork Synergy, and it's a black and brown, kind of a rough one. This is a just lost the keeper. This is a genuine leather, so it's not a full grain leather. It's kind of a printed one, but it's very flexible, very nice. Looks really good on Instagram, which is what I use it. I bought two of these, and I bought one in red and black, and this one is kind of a black and brown, and I like the other one better. So that's why I'm giving this one away, because I never wear it, and I want it to be worn. I want it to be used and enjoyed. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So Isaiah, what do people have to do in order to enter this contest?
So they will have to follow me, follow you, and I hope you'll put the tags on this video somewhere.
I will.
And just a comment on both our pages, or one, we'll get together and sort that out. And tag two of their friends that may be interested in this giveaway. Okay. So nothing too complicated. The complexity comes after the winnings, when we decide the second place, and
yeah,
when the random generator decides second place, we'll have to have a little bit more communication with them.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so like this on Instagram and tag a couple people, and when are we closing this? Are we gonna close it Friday?
Are we doing it this Friday or the next? You want to give a couple of days?
Well, today's Monday. If we close it this Friday, then we can announce the winner on Saturday.
Sure. So let's go for this Friday. That works for me.
I hate it when people do giveaways and it's like you've got 3 weeks to enter. Everyone's entered within the first day or two.
Yeah.
And then I've forgotten all about it. Right?
Well, I get an occasion where sometimes there's a giveaway and there's like a limit. It's like, if I hit this number, then the giveaway ends, and I see it after the number's been hit. So like that one's always like, that's my pet peeve. It's like,
okay.
I just missed it. You got your 1,000 followers and now I can't get it on the contest.
Well, we'll keep it open till Friday at midnight, and then Saturday morning we'll figure something out to get a winner.
Fair enough.
As you can tell, this is going to happen just like my channel, utter chaos and not professional at all.
Right. Right.
Does that drive you crazy as an engineer? Do you want to keep things in perfect order? And
at work, I've been, accused of, maybe being a little too rigid and whatnot. I was raised by a military grandfather in that sense. So like I got this rigidness, and a lot of people tend to like, were you in the army? And I'm like, no, I wasn't, but, but in my personal life, it doesn't bother me in that sense, couple of drinks and I'm as wild as everyone else.
Man, I would love to do, when New York opens up, when the border opens up between Canada and New York, I definitely got to come down and see you. I've never been in New York City. I've always wanted to go.
Definitely. And I'll be shooting up to Toronto as soon as we open back up as well. So,
it's a great city. Like Alec Baldwin said, it's like New York without all the stuff.
Yeah.
We got the Jays. Hey, we're beating you in the standings. I don't know why. Boston's at the bottom. You guys are, I think, second from the bottom. What the heck?
It's no pitching, man. There's no pitching and a lot of expensive injuries.
Are they just not spending money because they know the next year or two is just kind of a write-off anyway?
I mean, for me, growing up in New York, I've been a Yankee fan my whole life. Our prime years were always when we had the greatest pitching, like that. Even the back end of our rotation was like facing the front end of another team's rotation.
Yeah, it's true.
And it seemed like as of, after, mid 2000, like 2004, around that time, we just started picking up a lot of bats, a lot of, mercenaries, I would say. And the pitching just went out the window, and we've always have good hitting, and home runs always fly out of Yankee Stadium, like no problem. Yeah. But that just doesn't win ball games. And, it's just, and then the bigger guys to me, always seem injury prone. Not that I have anything against bigger guys, but the more muscle and body mass and gravity will pull you down and hurt you more than a lighter guy. So,
well, yeah, like we've got Vlad. We've got a bunch of different rookies on the Jays, and they're bigger, and they're already like, yeah, he's 21 and he's playing first base because he doesn't have the build to run in left field.
To run on the outfield, yeah.
And it's like, man, that they used to put you at first base when you hit 38, and
that's the sucky part. Yeah,
still hit a dinger. But anyways, we are digressing.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We're going to limit this to North America, Mexico, U.S., Canada. It's going to be you called it the NORAD giveaway.
NORAD giveaway, yes.
NORAD giveaway. I love that. And that's just because with COVID, everything is locked down. Shipping is so hard. It takes so long. It's so costly. And shipping that book isn't going to be cheap. And we're not making money off this. We're just doing this for fun. We're doing it free. Yeah. We're doing it for fun. And get a little recognition for the channel and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
And the list of countries we can't ship to was just too much for me to read.
Right. Yeah. So please only enter if you're in Mexico, US, or Canada. And we're really sorry to our viewers in the UK and Asia and everywhere else. We love you guys. We don't want to exclude you. And I'm sure at some point when things settle down, we'll be able to do something like that.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for joining me, bro.
Thanks for having me on your channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And thanks to all of you for watching. Good luck in the giveaway, and we'll talk to you later.
Good luck, everyone.